guys, this is Fur on the Ground out of my shelter, and this is going to be the fourth attempt of survival hour to go to survival fire. To start with, we're doing knock, then we're doing flight, then we're doing arrowheads, tips. To start with, you get the rear end of the arrow, the back end, sure I had the technical name, then you cut at about a 45-degree angle on either side, so you expose the pith in the middle. Then with your knife or saw, whatever you have, cut it out, and then there you are, you have a knock. This has already been reinforced with duct tape. I have some in my survival tin, so I suppose that can kind of count. Then the tip, what you do for the tip is, you can either do two things. You can split it, or you can do what you did with the knock. That's what I'm going to do to start with. You cut it, but at a sharp angle this time, more like 30, 25 degrees. Cut in. Now, the depth you cut in depends on your arrowhead, which I will show you now. With the arrowhead, what you do is you get a piece of hardwood, or hard, like feel hard, doesn't have to be technically hard. And you carve it into, what I do is this shape, and then you can either fire harden it or not. Carve into that shape, and then from there to there, actually more like a couple millimeters down. How deep your has to be, how deep the knock has to be. So mine has to, this knock has to go a little deeper. I split it, but it really doesn't matter because I'm going to reinforce it. Now, what you do, you slide the arrow in, the arrowhead in, to there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut grooves these are going to be about 1 millimeter in, so they reach the side of the arrow. And I'm going to do that with a hacksaw, which you haven't seen in my survival tin, but it is. I didn't put it in the video there. So I'm going to cut 4 in, then I'll... Okay guys, I'm back. I've cut the grooves in with a hacksaw onto the tip, so now all I got to do is lash it. With this, I'm going to use some thread, some green thread like I did the second one, so I found that worked the best. Off now, thread cut. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it round the bottom too, with a good end on it. Wrap it 2 or 3, 4 times. Then do a couple knots to start with, and then that gives you a point of where to start your lashing. Your dashing lashing. Then you go from the my bottom right hand corner to the top left, then to the top right, then down to the bottom left, and then do that again. Bottom right, top left, top right, bottom left. And that makes kind of zigzag pattern. You can kind of do that if you know what I mean. Just make it into a cross. It's not that hard to do. You'll get the hang of it. You don't have to do the exact way. And then that should hold it quite tight. And then you do a double knot without breaking thread. If you do, you're just going to have to try your best to tuck it under. This is made a lot easier if you have glue, but I'm not using glue. There you are, nicely hafted, quite tight. Now I'm going to secure that with duct tape. But first I'm going to make the flights. You just need a square of duct tape, like that big. If you're putting on a homemade bow, you want it probably going from the top to the bottom. And so put it across like that, then fold the ends over just over the center line of the arrow, and then pinch from the arrow back, and you have your square flights.